Hello, we're Letha and John Kerl, and longtime members of Bellingham Covenant Church, and we're really grateful for this opportunity to share with you a little bit more of our story. Stephen has asked us to share a little bit about our life and mission, and it really began 40 years ago. Letha and I were engaged, and shortly in the month of May 1981 we're married, and 6 weeks later we had the opportunity to go to Africa to serve for 2 years in what was then Zaire and is now the Democratic Republic of Congo. And upon our return, Carlton Peterson was a pastor and invited me to join the staff, and I became the director of special ministries at Bellingham Covenant, and served in that capacity from 1983 to 86. And then Letha and I made the decision to go back to Chicago to complete theological education and graduated from North Park Theological Seminary in 1988, upon which we left for Costa Rica for a year to study Spanish as God was guiding us to Mexico, where we did serve between 1989 and 2007. In 2007, we were asked to become the regional coordinators for Europe, and we moved to Lyon, France, where we lived until this summer, July. We moved back to Bellingham, and we continue now to serve as co-regional coordinators for Europe from our base here in Bellingham.
Some of you have asked what brought us back to the States in July, and many of you do know my parents' health were failing, and they both have passed. My mother in late July and my dad late December. We also came back for kids and really just felt God saying this was the thing to do, the time, and so we just really trusted Him in that, and we're really glad we did come back.
So ministry for us moving forward is continuing to be very focused on overseeing our work in Europe. We have three main responsibilities, which are the supervision and care for Serve Globally missionaries who are serving Europe, and also we are the direct liaison with the national partner churches in Europe, and then we are very involved in the leadership team for Serve Globally for the Covenant Church. So those are the three main areas. So we are very involved in this time of COVID, not able to travel, having meetings continually with Zoom and on Skype and emails and phone calls, and we are pretty nonstop, and we're grateful for this medium of today's world. Down the road, we're looking to retire. Probably the big question, when are you going to retire? We're not retired yet. It'll be at the very end of 2022, and that's why we're partially now getting ready to kind of make our nest here as we conclude our service. So that's the focus right now for us in this next year and a half.
I think for me it's been a lot of learning to grieve well, grieve losses, loss of life in France and ministry as it was, loss of being with people and community, loss of parents. So those of you who have gone through that know it's not a 1 week, 2 month process. It's a long process, and I'm still on the journey, and I think we both probably are in some ways. The other thing I think COVID has taught me is to let go and to have patience. And I was not aware of how much I liked control. But this just, there's nothing any of us could really do. So sitting with that and kind of letting go, maybe layer after layer, is probably what I've learned the most, and just trusting God that He has a greater plan.
Next year will mark the 50th anniversary of the first time I set foot in Bellingham Covenant Church. Then it was known as Mission Covenant Church. And over the years, this church has been my faith community. Through thick and thin, through good and bad, there's just been a consistency of this community of faith. And I want to really encourage you to take seriously our community of faith. That no matter who's a pastor or who's, in what pew where, we are a family and we need each other. And we can be patient with one another, loving towards one another, but we are family together. So as I look back at almost 50 years of involvement, at this particular church's love and support of us as a family, I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude and want to say very clearly, thank you. Thank you for being not only locally minded, but globally minded. And we have had the privilege of being your ambassadors in Africa and Latin America and Europe. And it's such a privilege. And we're looking forward now to the next chapter once we retire to being fully back and engaged in this faith community. So thank you from the depths of our hearts for all of your love and support for us over so many years. And we're looking forward to getting to know many of you that we don't know, and old friends that have known us for our journey here. So God bless you, and thank you for being our family of faith.